What's up, party people? That yes, yo, you don't stop. Big John come rocking the short shot. Welcome back. Cork freaking stats, baby. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely. With your boy, Big Johnny Stud. Follow me up on Twitter at John Lageza. Flow, sharpening the damn razor. Same handle over on Substack. I just officially ended my self-Twitter ban. Promoting the show. And feeling pretty good. Looks like the whole crew was cleaning up yesterday. What's going on, Spartans?
Bullpen! What is your profession?
Let's go. Good to see everybody. Adonis up in the building. No block. Oh, plus Grin. Let's go. No block up in the piece. B Rose Bay with the big K ladders. Jason, my guy, posted some green screens. Also, good to see the whole crew eating. You know, even after I disconnected. Yesterday it looked like it went pretty well, right? We really like Cleveland on the cover, the Mesa cover. That got home. We were under on that Mets game that was a winner. I was going to bet my left testicle on the Reds, and that got home. So it looks like, we're back on track, and I don't want to be beating myself up in the nose. Nostradamus says, good morning, crew. Happy birthday, B-Rose. Oh, baby. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Want to play the over 13. Never did. Yeah, the poussoir. It happened, of course. I think I definitely F somebody, right? Talking that shit. I'm either over 20 or under 3. It went right in the fucking middle, and the regular fucking 13 got home. Man, what are you going to do? Don't be a cheap bitch all life. There's some good advice. Value your time. I'm going to save you $2 worth of time a week, especially right now with the NFL overlap. Fantasy football ranks are hot and heavy. They're freshly updated with all the great data. I mean, just like the baseball stuff, I'm just fucking giving this stuff away. All the differential EPA zone and alignment stuff. It's just, no one is giving it away for this shit. All right, enough of that bullshit. More of this. Best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug. We got 16 games today. I think we're split 8-8 with 2 doubleheaders. I'm going to start at the back of the board. My throat, I didn't sleep last night, is like legitimately swollen shut. I'm going to go see a fucking doctor in a little bit. I'm on every over-the-counter I could fucking find. NAC plus zinc, vitamin C, and a handful of ibuprofen to kind of kill the swelling. We'll see if I can drag my fat fucking carcass across the finish line. Well, I'm not going to get it bullshitting. Let's do the thing we do. Me and you, the Corked Stats crew. I think I'm going to do more of a board read today. Again, I am on the fucking struggle bus. Starts with Eric Lauer. That was a miss. I really like that Wheeler price yesterday. Phillies kind of shit the bed. I think Max Muncy got the Dodgers home in a low-scoring affair. Eric Lauer on the bump for the Dodgers. They're slight favorites again. They're on the road against Aaron Nola. And the Fighting Phils model has scoring up early, tapering off at the end. I guess we're under the 9.5. Not sure I trust either one of these pitchers as much as I could throw them. You'd like to think Nola better pitcher than Lauer. The ERA and whip wouldn't suggest that, but all the disciplinary stuff absolutely would. I mean, he's got, an order of magnitude just across the board. Swing and strike, ABB, CSW, plus we like the elevation been better. Noah's just been very unlucky with the homer to fly ball rate. I know he's up a little bit, doesn't have the best stuff, but 23 homers through 103 innings for an 18 homer to fly ball is kind of fucking crazy. He's really struggled with lefties, and that's always going to be a problem against the Dodgers. These guys are really hard to back. Again, I'd probably, on its face, be leaning more towards an over, but the books kind of beat us there, that 9.5. Feeling really high, and the bullpens are not terrible in this game. Funny, Eric Lauer was bitching about how I'm supposed to be a starter. Fucking why? Why? Just single-digit KBB, single-digit swing and strike, all the stuff we normally go after. Quick note. The hitter split data is behind right now. Whatever the API didn't drop this morning, I waited to the very last minute. I'll get it today. Everything else is up and running as always, but I can only go with the speed everything else does. Just a quick note for people, again, who are wondering. The overall stuff is fresh. It comes from a different source. It's a little bit more reliable, but you don't get all the advanced split stuff that we really love. That I have to wait for. It's a third-party source. I'll get it in a little bit after the show. It's usually up, and it might even be up this second, but come 9 o'clock, I got to rip the fucking red light. Yeah, this one's close. I think Aaron and Nola and the Phils get back their fucking pound of flesh at even money. Maybe, if anything, I don't know, we want to try and cheat the Dodgers out of those extra at-bats. Not that I'm really terrified of that bullpen, but it feels like maybe F5 is a way to go. I wanted to check the price. I wonder if we're getting a little bit of a bonus to go F5. Nah, not really. It's basically even money both ways. So if I had to pick, for me, it's Phillies to win, even money, but facing the Dodgers, never easy. Oh, some police sirens outside. Fellas, I fucking promise it wasn't me. Bailey Ober on the bump for the Twinks, plus 104 dog down in Cleetown, Forest City, to face Slayer Chacane, Paisan, and Le Gardien. They've got the bullpen emoji. There were some crazy ones. Look at that. That athletics one is fucking nuts, man. Right? That's why the emoji leads you to the note, and you could see like how crazy it is. I take care of it. I don't want you to double count. They're not all the same. So Gaddis 2 with Notice Smith available, but Gaddis 2 with 3, Holderman back-to-back 3 of 4, Armstrong back-to-back 3 of 4. That back-to-back 3 of 4 I almost count as an auto. Unavailable, be careful. Looking for, guards distance without that from Ciccone. We could fast forward to the end. He's kind of been unimpressive, really pitching to a lot of contact, though he's been better at keeping it down than maybe I thought he was. I thought we'd get more home runs out of this guy, just barely cracking 15 outs a game. Ober's actually been much better lately, though the home and road split's a little hard to ignore. Ober 268, 1 flat whip at home, 690 ERA, 1.5 whip, single digit KBB at home. But again, last 30 days has been really good, but there is a little bit of topside to Bailey Ober, right? We've seen it before. I worry about the fucking four-seamer. I think it's trash, and he's up in the zone, which, of course, leads to those Shamalama ding-dongs that become so damn frustrating. Frustrating. Yep.
Frustrating.
I gotta bump that up. I gotta re-rack that fucking audio thing. That movie's mad funny. Man, we were always looking to dogpile that Guardians offense. And they've kind of come alive lately, right? The last 7 tell no lies. 147 WRC plus, hitting 311 as a squad, 888 OPS. Opposed to the Twins, who are kind of falling off the cliff a little bit. They are doing the Twins thing, which is pulling fly balls with a lot of contact. So maybe we don't want to bury them today. I think the underpinning stuff for Ciccone and the way those stylistics play out, I think is actually advantageous for the Twins, because they're look at the swing and miss stuff is really good. The chase stuff, all the contact stuff is really good. But the Bow rated 3.1 last 180 plate appearances is just absolute fucking shite. Guardians bullpen's been doing the thing. However, we are worried, I think with good reason. Ciccone's not going to give you 8 to get it to Smith. They're going to need somebody to bridge that gap. I'm normally not looking to back the Twins full game, but if you are buying the emoji stuff, then I think you can go Twins full game with the even money. Dog's already barking today. But I'm also noticing we're way under. I'm sorry, way over. Excuse me. We're way over. I've got both teams over 4.4. I wonder if Jeff L. and J Bird are already on that, meaning those are really interesting. Oh man, it's fucking mayhem going on outside. Sorry. On these games where we're over, I noticed the pricing of the fucking sharpest Spartans out there playing the oh Doc boo boo boo. When we're over, there seems like there's a nice pathway to good pricing on the both teams to score, just something to look for. So yeah, I'm over the 8 and I've got the Twins to win. That's kind of an interesting bet, right? If you go Twins plus the over, that bitch plays freaking plus 230, man. I think we get there because I think Ciccone's garbage. So I'm going to actually put that just for shits and giggles. Twins ML plus FG 08 is plus 230. And of course, you wouldn't put your full unit on that. You put a little, just a little bit to kind of keep that risk management in check and moving on. Next up, Griffin Jackson, the bump for the flat fucking fish of Florida. They're minus 107. Slight dogs on the road north of the border. I've got Spencer Miles. He's going to do the bulk work. It looks like we've got Braden Fisher going. Very hard to handicap these things, and you don't want those stats. You don't want it. You almost chalk it as a 0. You know what I mean? I think you're safer that way. Though I always find it a little bit interesting when teams make that move, but it's not handedness based. I know this is not exactly science, but who else is doing it today? I think the Tigers. Okay, so I think that fuck. Oh shit! I think it's the Tigers are doing it today. I forget where the fuck where Alexander pitches. Man, the guy was always moving around. Hold on one second. It's we're gonna make a point. Oh, it's Texas. Sorry. All right, Texas in front of Quantrill. That move makes a lot more sense when teams go to lead with an opener that is maybe a lefty to try and beat lefties in the top 30 of the order. I mean, it's actually a really good move against the Phillies. We've seen that work against a few teams. I'm always a little just thrown off when it's righty stuff. I tend to like Miles, though. We can pop the hood really quick for Miles. I know the numbers as a starter have been whack. He does have really good command and control. I think he's a little bit better than the stats. He's been, pretty unlucky for a guy that's a total ground ball machine to have almost 15% homer fly ball and then a 360 BABIP and a 45 left on base. Like, those numbers are fucking patently insane. It's going to bounce back. Jacks have been really impressed by, man. When guys make the move from reliever to starter and they start to show you who they are, that they can go distance and pitch well, I think you believe them. Now, my worry, and we saw this happen with a guy like, holy fuck, the fucking Yankee. Clay Holmes that went to the Mets. Sometimes we'll see them make the move, be really impactful, but kind of run out of gas. So I'm going to be maybe a little bit more weary of Jackson in September, but right now he looks really strong. The expected ERA kind of out of whack last 30 days, but I think the overall sample is good enough. Plus, look, Miles been really good at home himself, so I think scoring may be at a bit of a premium. I think I also said that yesterday. These things fucking happen in this thing of ours. Man, I don't know if I can quite get to the under 4.5. Model really liking the under as we extend, giving credence or credit or grace to the Toronto bullpen that struggled with run allowance the last 2 weeks, but overall they've been very good. Same for the Rays. They've really corrected course. They're one of the better bullpens in the league for a little bit now. So I think we're under that totally, especially if the 8.5s are still out there. Fuck you guys. Again, it's been a running theme here, and right now, kind of coming off my own personal break and crash out, I'm trying to look for dubs, right? I always take so many fucking L's. Oh, hello. I got to take a couple dubs, you know what I'm saying? And that's really been such a strong point for us when we're disparate from the number. I mean, if you follow, come at me. If you don't, let's say you're a non-subscriber and you don't like me with probably good reason, hit me up. Tell me I don't like you and I want to try and prove your fat mouth wrong. And it just plays out constantly. I almost want to say we have correct directionality with the market. I'm going to get fucking raked over this 99% of the fucking time. Honestly, when do we drop off of market and have the market move the other way? Tell me when. Tell me when. This is the open fucking challenge. Open challenge. If you see it, call me out. I will give you something if you will. I'll gift you a sub. I've got a bunch of really cool cards. I'll send you fucking cards and stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you want to buy a beer at the fucking bar or something, I'll send you some fucking cash if you need. Just saying. Which now I have to turn into my own personal L is I got to either get this out earlier or like highlight them and shit because you have about an hour, right? 1 hour. When the model drops, you've got about an hour for those things to settle. And the reason I say that is that 8.5 is now a hard 8 minus 110. I don't know if I want to go under the hard 8, which means that the 8, it's not guaranteed, but generally 8s project into 4s, which is funny. And now, like, I'd even be, not say making a case to go over the 4, but the model is like, don't go under the F5U4. So I think now I'm fading this one because I'm a little slow to the jump. Let's shout out Big Pop Legeza really quick. His most famous saying for me growing up was, "He who hesitates is lost." Got to go get that yellow light. Don't hit the brake first. You ain't going to make it. Next up, El Rey. Michael King on the bump for the Friar Tucks. Padres on the road as minus 103 slight dogs down in the dirty to face Martin Perez and the Bravos and Fuego, right? Offense kind of kicking ass. Not to be outdone by the Padres. They've been looking really good as well. Old man Manny Machado, right? It's so funny that this has been a thing our entire life, and it really just gives a little bit of credence again to the fucking boomers out there. He's a second half guy. The old man needs the warm weather. It's just, I don't know, man, how it is. Maybe it's just repetitions. I don't know. But the Tin Man, right, Manny Machado is fully he's fully lubed everybody. And these offenses really looking like not much of a joke. I mean, 1v1, King feels like the significantly better pitcher here. 3.34 ERA and 1.16 WHIP, though the expected stuff, not loving it. Also, hold on, quick shout. Back-to-back shouts for our guy MLB Dream. 1-4, helping lift up the big man when I was a little down in the dumps. But again, I don't kick myself when I'm down. I express and I move on. We're not doing that today. Anyway, he hit me up yesterday, asked about the Claude Bot's reading on Wrobleski. And just to be clear, the MLB indicator is mine. It's tested better than expected ERA in Sierra. This is now the second year running. I should probably go public with this one, but anyway. The Claude bot was I challenged my trained Claude AI to take, it's our data set plus, it's my full data set. To take my full data set and by using a different methodology, match or defeat my correlation. It was not able to defeat it, but it was basically tied. And the reason I mention that is mine are anchored in reality. I'm very transparent in using expected ERA in Sierra. I think that's why I post them. That's why I use them. And before I started leaning on my own, I thought they were the best too. We have covered in detail, right, their differences. Sierra skills independent, expected ERA is an XWOBA translator. I think they both have flaws. And hitting average just didn't test out as well as I wanted to. And again, if you thought, oh, should we just average them? I was there. Yeah, I've been there. It's all good. That's where you start. You start at the fucking beginning. But Claude, you got to see the fucking formula is insane. And that's where AI is so crazy. Like, I would have never been able to create this formula with, it's not just weighted. It's like weighted with multipliers and all types of, it's fucking nuts, man. It's like a mile long. And Dream hit me up to ask me, like, not like if it was correct or like if I saw it, maybe it's just the pull was correct. That's fine. And I don't adjust that whatsoever. The Claude thing is what it is. I wouldn't know how to correct it if I wanted to. And it loved Wrobleski against the fucking Phillies. And I was just like, I don't know, man. It's there because it tests out. And it ended up being the fucking carrying tool. So I would get away from expected ERA in Sierra. I would just use the Claude bot in mine. Because also I think they are different enough that, but in the realm of correlation, that I just think that will bring us to a better answer, right? We're in a world of everything is so tight around the margins that I think, that's the kind of difference maker. So put that in your fucking pipes and smoke it. The reason I say that, the Claude bot in love with King, better control, better swinging strike, better in zone stuff, better home run rates, better contact suppression. And I think the splits are better also. Perez just feels like a negative regression case waiting to happen, though the old man must, maybe he's got like a hot wife and some beautiful kids. She makes him breakfast. They play with fucking Legos in the morning because he's the man at home, right? You pull up to Perez's crib. Lawn is mowed, garbage is taken out. But King's been equally good on the road and significantly better last 30, where Perez is kind of falling apart. I got another dog barking here. I got the Padres for a dub. Braves bullpen. Definitely been a tough customer. And if I get an equal price, you can. Not sure how I feel about this one. If we're tied after 6, though you'll notice the Padres bullpen is starting to correct again. Maybe we could buy it, man. Miller is fucking awesome. But they had some serious struggles. Padres bullpen was total ass for a little bit. Couple blow-ups. I'm not saying mismanagement, but this is why we do the bullpen report. I'm guarantee what happened is there was an expectation of unavailability. They pressed the available button when it was risky and lost the bet, took the L, put themselves in a bad position going forward, and it cost you, right? And that's how bullpen management fucking snowballs for managers. Man, we're just in the fucking flow state right now. So yeah, I've got Padres for a win at the money. Give me Padres for the win at the fucking money. Even money for Michael King over Perez is like yes, please. Next up, Anthony, every kiss begins with K on the bump for the Pale Hose, -107. Slight dog on the road down in Texas, Lone Star State, to face Cal Quantrill, who's going to be following Alexander. Now, maybe this makes a little bit of sense. Also, White Sox have a bunch of lefties. I'm trying to look for my projected lineup here. Yeah, you figure it's like Antonacci, Murakami. Sometimes I flip Vargas, Murakami, Montgomery. I think Montgomery left. I'm not sure if he's going to play. But Benintendi and Brady Montgomery, I was mentioning Colson, but they have two young superstar Montgomerys. With Peters and even Romo at the back end, they're going to get so many fucking lefties that they may even try to get 2 innings out of Alexander. Quick shout out over to the comment section. Good to see everybody. Jeff L., good morning. Shouting you out before. No block, all the usual suspects. Yo, Jackfish, good to see you, man. Appreciate you. He hit me up yesterday for NFL data. Don't be fucking shy. Remember, there's crazy NFL level data. Dude, let me know if you have any questions. And Fireworks, hold on. Yo, I got this yesterday. I don't understand. Fireworks said yesterday, waited a while yesterday for the sheets. Yo, like 2 or 3 people hit me up. Maybe you just have to refresh your link because we take the consistency. Even with, I had sand in my box, and I'm not, mincing those words. The data was up on time in full by 8:30, 7 days a week, 8:30 a.m. EST. Everything is up. And if you've noticed, since I've really gotten more ingrained into the Source Network crew, shout out Kyle, Toast, Spoon, Jake, TV, of course. They do the midnight stream. I've had the pitching and the game numbers and the lefty stuff re-racked before I go to bed, before those shows happen. So the pitching data is always up. If I miss a name, that shit happens. The offensive data is not updated, but again, the game totals and everything are updated. So just weird. Let me know exactly what's going on. I think I don't want to say it's this. This is a you problem, but it might be just a refreshing problem because that's what it was with the one person that they hit me up. I don't want to call him out. But I was like, are you sure? Because it was up. Try refreshing. And he said, oh, my bad. So if you ever have any problems, though, hit me. Don't be afraid. 24/7, you're not a bother. You're a priority. One last question here. Super Saiyan, Red Bead, what's going on? Which event is bigger, has more ratings, Champions League final or Super Bowl? I don't know. It's a really good question. I don't really know much about fucking football. Tyler Markham, you going to have bet slips today? I don't know. I almost did yesterday, and I didn't. Tomorrow's a really light day, so if I take off tomorrow, I'll probably be. If I take off today, I'll probably be off tomorrow. I don't know. I have to decide. I don't want to. I feel ready. I don't want to press. I also kind of fell in love with wanting every pitcher to get a turn out of the break first. So I may take today and tomorrow, and then move on. Appreciate you all again. Jack says, "Thanks." No. Thank you, people. Remember, this ain't fucking man.
This is Sparta!
Baseball's version of 300. Give the book nothing. Take from that bitch everything. All right, Anthony, every kiss begins with K on the bump for the Pale Hose. I'm surprised they're only at 107. Rangers' offense has been a little bit hot to trot. White Sox have struggled a little bit. Rangers have hit lefties well. And listen, I have to take a mini loss here because I've been kind of calling them out for not believing it. This dub goes to the, Kyle and Toast crew. Because they were saying the same thing. They were like, dude, they just get it done, so we're rolling with it. I kept saying, but, they strike out a little bit too much, and they don't pull fly balls. The hard hit rates are a little whack. I felt like maybe it was a little bit lucky based on BABIP, though maybe I should have been giving more, leeway to the approach, which has been very strong. But I think I'm coming around on Anthony K., who we were fading out of the box with great success. Again, all the underpinning stuff is still not corrected, but that's why we like to look at home away split plus last 30 as the cherry on top to give you an idea of trajectory. When you see a big time change in the L30, right? It's not like, oh, L30 change means change of opinion, but it should be that leading indicator to take a deeper look. And I'm just not buying Quantrill at all. I've never been buying Quantrill at all. Whenever he has success, I'm not buying it. Again, look at the numbers versus lefties. I don't give a fuck when you bring this guy in. You got to think he's going to get fucking shelled. Lefties are batting 310 with a plus 900 OPS against this guy. Fly ball rate north of 51, almost 2 home runs per 9. Man, maybe I put the cart before the horse a little bit. K last 30, 313 ERA, 117 whip is really good, but a 450 Sierra, 11 KBB is like, maybe he is just like the average kind of guy. So now that I say it like that, I'm a little bit torn. You pop to the bullpens. White Sox have like the clearest edge coming out of the half right now. The bullpen's been absolutely on fire, moving Grant Taylor into that, highest leverage role. We've mentioned that all year. I know they've gone south a little bit since, but it happened to Miami. It happened to Detroit. It happened to Houston. We see this all the time. When you install a capital C type closer, it just kind of, it just like resonates and creates that kind of ripple in the pond butterfly effect. And it fucking works, man. Adding good pitcher to bullpen, good. Boo, boo. Yeah, obviously, but does seem kind of strange how it has this widespread effect across the entire bullpen. It has, Man, I like the White Sox at the price. I'm just not buying fucking Quantrill. This is a little bit of an odd angle and not something I do. It's something I used to do when I was betting professionally, not to be hiding things from people. But live betting, here comes just some transparency. The hardest thing to do if you're doing this thing of mine, content creation or sharing picks, even though not a pick selling service, don't want to hear it, not a pick selling service, is live betting. The pricing is so, like, I'm over here oftentimes posting numbers that I can beat personally because I don't believe in that. I know some touts will put something from fucking some weird fucking scumbag spot because it's got a better price that no one else can reach. If you notice, I post from a few standard spots. I generally take the second best price unless it's on my bookie, which is available in all 50 states. You should be playing there. They have really great prices, crypto in, crypto out. And I think we both need to get some free roll, whatever. I don't work for them. Maybe I should. But like I said, I'll use theirs if it's best price because I want you to be price shopping. But I don't put these weird ass fucking nobody spots. And as far as live betting goes, it's a whole nother operation. You need to be using a board because the difference in, one place to the next is so crazy. And then once people start hitting it, they're off the softest lines and start moving. So where I'm getting it is we might want to bet the White Sox live in this one because if it's tied or behind, we're going to be getting a better price. If they jump on Alexander, I'd be surprised, right? They haven't been, White Sox have not been hitting great, and they're going to struggle more versus lefties. Then maybe you're out, right? You don't want to pay juice on a even money bet that we had capped for a win, but like might be a little sneaky to jump in on the White Sox in like the second inning or the third inning. That plus 110 might turn into like a plus 120, right? With the home favorite and goose eggs on the board. Just another way to skin the cat without a scratch. So I do think I'm going to put White Sox win. I do think the White Sox win this one. I just saw a minus 105, and with the way the bullpen has been pitching and what I perceive as a offensive edge, though, I wonder if I have to be applying the rising tide theory to Wyatt Langford, my boy, who's been crushing him when he's healthy for those few days, right? They've been really fucking excellent. Man, this is taking forever. Sorry. Keto Montero on the bump for the Tigres, leaving Detroit Rock City. Minus 103. A slight dog down in Chicago to face Colin Rea and the Baby Bears. Man, what a fucking miss on Framber. Again, I have to admit, if I was live yesterday, I would have had that one and looked like a fucking a fucking idiot, total jagaloon. What are you gonna do? This shit happens. Well, it's funny. Sometimes I prefer. This is an interesting betting question. Interesting betting question for the group. Do you prefer absolute losses or sweating down to the end and losing? And it's funny because there's two sides of the emotional coin here. I think there's a really good betting question. Part of me says, no, give me the total loss. Rip off the Band-Aid. I'm not worrying about it at all. You come to grips with it very easily and move on. The flip side is how you believe it reflects on your handicap. And some people say, man, I got blown out. I did something wrong. And some people say, I got blown out. That falls into the same bell curve, assertions and theories that we use all the time. And shit is going to happen. Maybe we should have been a little bit more weary of the first start out of the break, right? Which is not a new thing. It's like, I missed that. Also, in particular, guys that were struggling into the break, expecting them to correct out of the break was probably a mistake. Other than that, most of the time, it's like, whatever, you lost. You lose, you lose. So I always wonder if I think like the bad result reflects on the handicap. If you're not going to be changing your model, I think I'd rather just fucking lose and get out of my mind than the up and down. And even though I try and be very stoic about betting and approach and results and how I handle it, I'm only human. It's obviously you get excited when you win and you're fucking disappointed when you lose. Like, yeah, no fucking shit, Sherlock. It's up your asshole, Watson. Montero's been a much better pitcher than Reyes so far. And I get everyone likes the Cubs better. They've been more slanted to lefties, which is another split that maybe we missed on. Right hitters not only having the edge, but Cubs were in a strong split and they were at home. Man, Montero's been a nice surprise, and normally his hang-up is being very bad versus lefties. They've corrected that approach. Lefties are batting .201 with a .591 OPS. I mean, you shouldn't really be worried about that. Montero's been fantastic on the road and closed out really strong. Plus, I think Detroit's got the better bullpen right now. I would go back to the well on the Tigers. I'm not buying the Reyes stuff. I don't think he's very good. And again, you can see I have it highlighted here. The Cubs' last 325 plate appearances versus righties is kind of meh. It's really not great. They're even striking out. Being too passive and striking out, they're not getting barrels or hard hit balls. Really ain't it, Chief, is we have to pay a fucking tax for it. So I like a lot of these kind of even money minus 105 teams today. Maybe I got to be on the lookout for a fucking bet ticket today, man. Maybe I will get back on the saddle. Next up, Sandy Alcantara on the bump for the Marlins. He's even money on the road against my boy Peter Lambert and the Stros. Yeah, I like Peter Lambert. I don't think he's better than Alcantara. Model likes the Marlins for a win, though it is really tight. This one should be a fucking good one. I would have loved to go under a 4.5, 8.5. Not so fast there, youngins. Book beat us to the low totals. It's listed at 4 and 8. Model also making a pretty strong case to go under that 8 with Houston as a slight favorite. Anticipation, at least a 52.5% expectation or whatever, that we won't get the bottom of the 9th frame. Ooh, man, I don't know. That one gives me a little bit of the ick, and maybe it shouldn't. I think Alcantara is really good. I think he's back on track. Lambert is one of the, kind of more undersung pitchers that we like. Ooh, now I can't help but wonder, the U8 that I was just quoting was minus 102 on MGM. So the minus 8.5 is minus 130. That might be a half run that I paid for, and I think that changes how I feel about this one. I was going to be inconsistent or misframe or floppy-ish. I was kind of leaning towards Marlins. Again, Alcantara, even with the little drop off in strikeouts, I think the regression model is leaning closer towards, Alcantara kind of hitting stride than Lambert. You could see, Lambert, maybe he's too many walks. Also, maybe been a little bit fortunate. Left on base rate north of 83, BABIP at 235. He's not going to run a 196 batting average allowed this season. Where Alcantara's left on base rate is right around 71, could get better. BABIP at 288 should get better because of all the weak ground balls and the way he keeps it in the yard. I like Lambert, but I think Alcantara is the better pitcher here. We could get depth from both of them. You can see on the prop sheet, something I forget to highlight all the time. People ask me about it. I'm like, damn, I have it. And I just don't forget to mention it. Ks, walks, outs per game, and pitches per game started every single day. Remember, that's what Lambert has been so good. Keeping it down and getting those outs, getting double plays. Astros like to let their, horses go. He's over 17 outs. Alcantara's near 20. So now that I look at it that way, I think I'm going to go with the under 8.5. Give up that little bit of juice. Both bullpens have hit righties last 2 weeks. But it's not outlandish, and I don't think we need to run away from them. Not that I want to be like, but the L7. Right? They're not hitting out of the second half. Marlins have been atrocious. The strikeout stuff is ridiculous right now. 68 WRC plus. Astros haven't been much better, short of Jordan Alvarez. They've been ass. They also don't steal any bases, which kind of kills me. So I'm going to give up that little bit of juice. Sorry, it sounds like there's some fucking work going on outside. I'm going to try and get us out of here in a second. So I'm under the 8.5. Let's shoot to the top. The little skyrockets in flight. Boo! Afternoon delight. We'll do the afternoon games board read with the double headers at the very end. So that's Pittsburgh and New York. That's Baltimore and Boston. They're going to go twice. They both have day-night double headers. So to the 1 p.m. stuff, after I clean up some of the comments here. Looks like, we got both teams to score conversations here. Yeah, guys, I think there's a few of these. I think there's a few of those. Jared Jackson has Quantrill getting touched up today. Yeah, I agree. I think the lefty splits are going to be disastrous. Jackfish says his, sheets popped right away. Okay, Jason, the phone, dude, that happens to me also. Yeah, okay, so I wonder if this is what it is, if it's a mobile thing. Jason, I appreciate you, dude, for always being so interactive, and you're such a huge help, man. I can't thank you enough, pal. Sheets once in a while take longer to load on my phone. This happens to me, too. In fact, I find sometimes I have to, back it out or refresh it. Like, if I have a idled window on my phone, I'm an Android. I don't know how it affects Apple. But, yeah, I found I've had to back out or refresh it sometimes. But, again, they're always there. Fireworks, don't sweat it, kid. I'm not trying to pile on you, man. I didn't mean to make it like, it's on you. But obviously it means a lot to me that everyone has access. And, I put in a lot of fucking effort to get everything out and neat, on time, thorough. You know what I mean? That is kind of what I hang my hat on. Duel says, want to sign up and wonder if he keeps any records? Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. Jason, always come to defend, not a pick service. He's right. I post what he plays and I'm transparent. I appreciate that. I also play everything I post, which is true. But I will read it to you right now. Again, just so you don't think like it's, when somebody just says, up or down. I have a record. Kim, I update it every single day in real time. Right now, we're under 500, but I count parlays and stuff. I was thinking about having the Clawbot separated, but I count parlays where, up just under 1% ROI, just under 1.5 units, and I have the combine prices. So, again, not that it is not a pick service, but I do know people follow, and if people are going to follow, it is very important that it be transparent. So, whoever asked Duel or Dooley, GR, Yeah, that was the record, pal. You should ask. You know what I mean? You should ask. But also, I think if you're looking to tail, as much as I love the subscription, this ain't it. This ain't that. Um, yeah, this ain't that. I think most of the people here have a pretty good understanding, right? This is what I think is the best cheap data service, right? Obviously, we never miss any days. And I think I totally believe in accuracy of the model. I was just talking shit about the directionality of the totals. However, and this is what separates it, and also why sometimes maybe I'm too transparent for my own good. But if you're into betting totals, you don't want to wait. Don't fucking wait for me to tail. There's sharp people using the fucking model and jumping on it, right? You know what I'm saying? If I was doing picks, they'd be up the night before. I wouldn't be doing the show. I'd be staying up late at night to model, track, post, sleeping during the day, not sharing my fucking edge, or giving out all the detailed analysis for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am very aware of where I'm kind of sitting here. I think, and again, we're coming off the worst run maybe of my entire career, couple day bullpen run. We lost 9 bullpen games after the 6th inning. 9 bullpen games in 3 days. 2 of them were 6 runs or more. That's fucked up. Those are 99% outcomes. We dropped 2 in fucking 3 days. Fucking crazy shit. But point being, you don't want to wait for me to post. The fact we're up at all is a fucking miracle. A miracle. It's a fucking miracle that we're up against the market in a world where I'm giving away the model and then running my mouth about the fucking show and then waiting like another 4 or 5 hours to post. So again, I just like to be very, very clear about where we stand, right? I think I'm a winning better, but I have to be very honest with people that may not understand. I appreciate the scrutiny. Pull the fucking threads on this. You should demand absolute transparency, excellence, and thorough due diligence, and hopefully a little bit of brain power. I like to think I bring all of that stuff, and I enjoy the challenge. So hopefully it doesn't come off combative, because I didn't take your challenge as combative. Some people come off, oh, what's his record? You should ask what the fucking record is. How are we doing? Damn Thief, good to see you, pal. If you can't find $8 of value out of this data set besides the picks, you're doing the wrong thing. Hold on, I got to screenshot this one. Thanks, player. Yo, I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. I don't know if you're into this stuff at all, how this doesn't save you $2 worth of time a week. And when football kicks off, if you can find, I mean this, if you can find split, EPA, man zone, differential, explosive race, play yards per pass attempt differentials, cheaper than I provided, fully formatted, let me know. I would like that. I pay a lot of money for this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Holy crap. So anyway, I felt good to kind of purge that. All right, let's just quickest board rip of the year. Starting with my guy Landon Roop on the road for the Giants. They're minus 120 slight favorites over Seth Lugo and the Royals. Again, I don't think you're going to get Bobby Witt today. I got to go San Fran for the win. I like Roop over Lugo. Lugo has really struggled. And, Roop has shown us some stuff. I think the Giants have done a pretty good job with their pitching development. Oh, a lot of love rolling in here. How am I a Yankees boy? Says John, you're the man. Sheep's helped a ton with alt K props. Biggest upside play I found. I don't even promote that stuff. You get that too, in case you're wondering about this and what he's talking about. Every day I show off a lot of the tools. I don't show them all. You get the implied team totals every single day, conditionally formatted. This is wonderful for DFS play when you're looking for stacks or for overs. I think for back-end DFS stacks, it's fucking fantastic. And then every day I do pitching ranks. It's tough to quantify these because I like to include strikeouts. So it's not as simple as just like it's the opposite of the runs allowed. But they also come with K projections. So every single day, we do every fucking thing, yo. Appreciate you all. Yo, my guy Adam, good to see you, Mr. Westbury. Lag's the man. Tailor your own risk. Yeah, no shit, brother. No shit. And again, I'm like super honest about this stuff. If you notice, I post when other people win. All right, so let's get back into the thing people actually give a fuck about, which is making money. I think San Fran wins this afternoon. against KC. Next up, Christian Great Scott on the road for the Let's Go Mets Go. They're on the road against Logan Henderson and the Cheesemakers. Man, I'm under again, and man, I talk about this every couple of days or so. I'm a little bit, I always get a little bit worried about going under 7.5, but it's totally viable, and that's what I think the play is. Scott, I think, is excellent, and Henderson, I think, is excellent. This one, I think I have the wrong number on the board. I doubt it's 7.5, 4.5. It could be. It's not impossible. But no, that one is a 4. I have to correct that. So you can see when I move it to 4, all of a sudden the edge kind of flattens out on it. I'm under the 7.5, but not sure I'm really going for it. A little worried about the Mets bullpen, frankly. Next up, my boy Kate Cavalli on the bump for the Nats. They're on the road against Gabriel Hughes, who I also kind of like, and the Rockies. So I'm out on this. It totals up at 11.5. I'm to the under, but it's going to be 1,000,000 degrees in fucking Colorado. And do you really want to be risking hard-earned U.S. currency on fucking going under in hot days and cores? Like, that just feels like a fucking losing strategy to me. It really does. Now, if this pumps to 12, it pumps to 12.5, maybe, maybe Rabbit, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Again, cores is undefeated. I juiced the fucking model. You know what I mean? I hit it for cores, I hit it for the heat, and we're still at 10. But at the same token, I got both teams modeled over 5, which when you deal with mean outcomes, last thing on the model. Remember, it doesn't tell the fucking future at all. I hate when people do that. You have it modeled we're winning by 0.1. Yeah, that's probably means it's telling you to bet the fucking underdog at the price. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, because the model is responsible and grounded in reality, right? It's not going to model fucking 12 runs. It doesn't do that. So when you end up with totals over 5, it's flashing red that these are the games that can run. So I don't know, man. I always am torn on these. I don't like to go under in cores. And though we shouldn't be dealing, right? Only Siths deal in absolutes. That one's a little fucking nerve-wracking. Next up, another dog barking, for me at least, player. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I was looking at my board, not yours. Gauge jump, make you want to jump on the bump for the Atleticos. They're on the road in the desert against Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks. Did they return? Oh, Carroll fucking played again, didn't he? Crazy, man. J-Rod, early return, went right back out. Bobby Witt, early return, went right back out. Gotta be careful, man. So I guess Carroll's there and they're back to full strength. Arizona's been hitting a little bit, but so are the A's. Jump, I wasn't really doing fucking stats here, but jump is a good example of it. When do we use home and away splits? When we have talented pitchers that pitch on the fucking moon. Gauge jump has a 6.35 ERA, 170 whip at home. On the road, on Earth, 0.75 ERA, sub-1 whip, 19 KBB. Jump is a significantly better pitcher than Merrill Kelly in a neutral field. Significantly better. He can pitch to contact sometimes, and that kills you on the moon. This price is wild to me. Is wild. But, last thing, you got to go F5. As much as I've been trying to lean towards full game, shout out Kyle. The A's bullpen report is one of, if not the craziest I've seen all year. Harris back-to-back 3 of 4. Alvarado 2 of 3, 37. Medina back-to-back 3 of 4. Suarez back-to-back. Hartley 2 of 3. And Basso 2 of 3. That's everybody. I mean, the top 3-4 arms may not be available. So maybe I'll give you a nod on the price full game. Not that I love Arizona's freaking bullpen either. They're kind of ass. A's are minus 105 on the F5. That's a fucking smash Rooney for me. Damn it, I'm going to end up betting today. Again, there was no reason for me to stop betting the other day. I was just, I was struggling with the mentals. I was beating myself up, and I was afraid it was going to affect my performance. So for me, I have responsibility to several hundred people, right? That it's more important that I disconnect and not fuck up But everything's testing out great. And again, if you're going to change your model for losing a 6-run game in the fucking 8th inning, like, well, you're probably doing it wrong. I'm not sure I need to run the numbers on this one, but I'm pretty sure we want to be up 6 runs in the 8th inning. I'm pretty sure. I can ask Claude when we get off, but I'm pretty sure. Next up, Brady waiting Singer on the bump for the Reds. They're 123 dogs on the road against Emerson Hancock. Man, this is another one. I think I like the Reds to win this one. Minus 148 for Hancock in this offense is just a little wild. And this is a pretty good example of a game that the model has the favorite, right? I should have done, I don't know why I did air quotes. They are the favorite. But they have them, quote unquote, winning. That was the air quote I was looking for. It's a fucking tenth of a run on the minus 150. The fair line calculation, again, when people ask about this, I'm trying to explain it every so often. The projected win and fair line value columns are not an opinion. They are a mathematical calculation of the total of runs. That's how these things are figured out. It's also there to remind you of how sensitive these things are. Right? You move it a little bit, all these numbers start to fucking change. With that, you ain't getting that bitch to minus 150. It's not getting there. That's crazy price. I mean, Singer's been like really good lately, and maybe he's another guy that I could buy away from home. I wanted to flip the bullpens really quick. Yeah, the Reds bullpen's been ass. They suck. It's the Mariners bullpen that's been really good. But the Reds offense, I think, is significantly better than the Mariners. And maybe this is another place to sneak in an F5. Cincinnati F5 plus 124 feels like a fucking strong play. I mean, Hancock has flashed. But it feels like, in his case, Emerson Hancock, I mean, he was so ridiculously good out of the box. I mean, the output's been good also, but all the K stuff has kind of disappeared. Market loves when guys are really good at home. They really do. The market loves when guys are good at home. I don't know. I still think the price is there for Singer. Maybe in that case, maybe where under the 8 is like the sharper play. I don't know. It's something. It's one of those. I like the Reds and the under. I think if you're paying the minus 150, I think that's bad chalk. Next up, I don't get this fucking price also. We have to bet today. We have to fucking bet today. Can someone explain to me? We're doing it again. We're doing it again. Vegas Dave, 10,000 unit, mega whale lock, holding a fucking pink Hermes bag in front of a fucking jet that I don't own in fucking loafers without fucking socks. Lock it up, dial now. I hate IKBing the market, right? I know better. I hate doing it because it generally ends one way with the fucking L on your forehead and a fat finger in your coolie. Someone explain to me, like I'm fucking 4 years old, why Hunter Dobbins is only even money to a minus 120 Reed Detmers. I don't understand. No fucking clue. No fucking clue. What, Detmers has struggled lately? Yeah, put up a bad start. He's, again, to me, I think that's misplaced. He's been very good at home. Dobbins is like a replacement level at best kind of guy. Literally at best. I'm just not trying to say anything bad. And St. Louis, I guess what they've hit lefties, this split scare anybody? I don't know. It doesn't scare me. Don't scare me at all. I'm just a little thrown off by the price. And the Cardinals bullpen is not performing, if I'm not mistaken. Also, they've corrected course a little bit. The Angels have been really good. I think this works as an F5. I think this works as a full game. I just think the Angels, win. You're actually getting a little bit of discount in the F5, which is a little bit of a turn on. Boing, swing. So yeah, I'm on the Angels for the win. All right, I guess we get the double headers. I don't really go to concern myself too much with double headers because it tends to shit, so he seems to move around. It's Mitch Keller is a heavy dog to Garrett Cole, and he should be. Winds blowing out in New York. I always worry about the wind blowing out for Cole because he can be a home run walking. I thought maybe Cole would be enough to push the total down, but it's at 5.5, 9.5, F5 full game respectively. I'm out. Then it's Dean Krispy Kremer and the Orioles. They're plus 118 dogs down at Fenway to face my boy Jake Bennett. If there's a play here, man, as much as I think I've shat on Kramer in the past, he really is a lot easier to back at home than he is on the road. And the Red Sox are hitting right now. Bennett's been goated, and their bullpen is good. So I think a Boston cover might even be in play here. But I think Boston wins if you're into paying juice. Flip down, I have the game twos at the bottom. It's Bubba Chandler is going for the Pirates on the road against Max Fried Eggs and the Janks. Also a heavy favorite. I wouldn't pay the heavy favorite for Max Fried in the debut. Also, not just a half debut, but he's coming off the IL and stuff. I would want to see it first. Also, I'd be wanting to see if this total would drop. I don't know. I like Chandler, but if he doesn't correct the command and control, he might need to get sent down first. I have a mistake here. These are fucking flipped. Yeah, shit happens all the fucking time. I had a mistake with doubleheader stuff. It wreaks havoc on my stuff. The totals are right. I had the whatever. I saw it this morning. I had game 2 Yankees as the road team. For whatever reason, I fucked up my import. And I corrected it on the full game and forgot the F5. I don't want to touch this one again. The minus 170 for the Yanks is bad. Chalk, I kind of tempted to go the other way. You can get plus money and a run first 5, meaning Pirates plus half run plus 105 is probably a pretty interesting bet. But Chandler's had massive struggle with lefties, and the Yankees lefties are the only thing good on that team right now. So thanks, but no thanks. And then I have, this was unlisted, I guess, Suarez. Yeah, Ranger Suarez is not confirmed yet. But it looks like they're leaning that way because Boston is a minus 145 blind against Kyle Horse-Bradish, who's been good. So the expectation's got to be Suarez. And I wouldn't fuck with this one. However, right, but, I did notice that the total was at, I got 8.5 on MGM even money. They don't have any alts posted. Give me 1 second, just because we have a minute. This one I'm curious of, because this one feels like it might be, I don't want to say a misprice, like a little opportunity here. No, not plenty of 9s are available. So you can go FGU9 on DraftKings in a Bradish versus Suarez matchup. And that feels like a fucking smash. Bradish and Suarez should not be 9, even with the wind blowing out. Suarez a ground ball guy. So I think that's a strong play with the missing name. The problem here is, if it's not Suarez and it's, who the fuck was going to go yesterday? Edward Rodriguez, I think. If he was going to go, then we no longer like the 9. In which case, we'd want to be on the Baltimore money line at plus money. So just be forewarned. And that will do it. 16 fucking games, yo. Fastest show in MLB. Absolutely. I appreciate you all for, just hanging along with this, man. This show is a little bit out there. And I know it takes a triple-digit IQ to even hang with it. But once you're in, really nothing like it. Thanks for picking up what I'm putting down. Please press like and subscribe. It matters more than it should. And after that, enjoy the games, enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, man, winning feels a lot less like luck, yo.